So I really like making stuff with resin, and I also enjoy watching these guys on JStu Studios, or more JStu. And after 12 months and many hours of work, over a gallon of resin, sanding, carving, and a whole lot of other stuff, I've made this sign. So keep watching and I'll show you how I made it. So to start with, I took an 8x11 sheet of paper and drew the logo on the paper. And then I cut out the letters and used a Sharpie to mark it onto the board. I also marked the places to cut the wood off, as you can see here. Then I took a router and routed out the shape that you see there and used a jigsaw to cut the sign out of the 2x12. Then I marked all of the colors and their location on the board so I could tell where to put the resin. And then I used what was left of a for sale sign to make the separations for where to put the colors, to use as forms. I also used hot glue to glue them in there and didn't really have any problems whatsoever. Here is just a preview showing you how I did that, and once again I did not have any camera that could record video for this first part except for right here. Once again, just showing, and I never did put that logo on there. I ended up doing something else. Now I 3D printed this one. I modeled their logo and 3D printed it, painted it, and then I encased it in resin, which ended up taking about 600 milliliters of resin to encase it. And there it is, finished with the top layer. And then I took the router and took off the back of it so I could put the light strip in there. And there's the place for the light strips and their controller, and I rounded off the edges so it would easily go around the edges of the sign. And here it is for the first test fit of the LED strip before I put any of the edging around it, which was like 1/2 inch by 1 inch stripping. And then I took some clear resin and put it over the top of that, but it had an indentation there, so it only stayed in there, so I could still stain the rest of it. So then I had to do lots and lots of sanding to get the edge of the 2x12 even with the edge of the trim going around the edge that covered the top of the LED strip. I also sanded the acrylic part with their mascot in it so it would be smoother. And then I eventually took resin and put it on those surfaces to make it clear without having to polish it. And my camera didn't work right, so I didn't get a video of myself staining the wood, but you can just imagine what that looks like. And so I took my phone and leveled it for the top coat of resin, and then I mixed up 1,000 milliliters of resin for the top coat. I also sealed around the edges of the 2x12, between the 2x12 and the trim, so it would not all pour through that, and that worked pretty well. I did not get any leakage there. So I tested a little bit and then I just went for it, and I mixed it for about 5 minutes straight because it's a large pour of epoxy. And if you didn't catch it in the first part, I did use just about 1 gallon for this entire project. 1 gallon of resin. So I smooth it out with the mixing stick, using a flashlight to make sure I got all the bubbles out and make sure I got every surface. Then I got a windproof lighter, which works basically like a torch, and used that to get rid of all of the tiny bubbles on top, once again using my flashlight to make sure I saw all of the almost microscopic bubbles. And here is the finished product. So I had a lot of fun making this. Took a while and it was kind of hard, but in the end I think it was worth it. I really hope you guys like this video, and I really hope that JStu Studios likes this whenever they see it. Like and subscribe for more content like this, and look forward to more stuff from I'll Build Anything.